Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. And let's wake up the football gods here. In just a couple of hours, we have the Washington football team going against the New England Patriots. I want to watch it to at least see Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic, and just get a taste of the enemy. I'm not sure if Philly 500 is going to be live streaming his game or not tonight, but we'll definitely be watching that as well. If he is, we will have our exclusive Philly meltdown cam. You know how we roll here, because it's not just about the Dallas Cowboys. We got to be concerned with everybody in our division because we got to play them. We literally have to go through them. Here's a little piece here because there's a lot of concern with Dak Prescott. You know, people have been going crazy because I said yesterday that Dak Prescott will be getting a second MRI, of course, tomorrow. I said that yesterday. Excuse me. It'll be happening probably Saturday. And this is just a follow-up. You know, most people are like, here, MRI, oh my God, it must be a setback. No, it was no setback. And I hope people didn't think that I was saying there was a setback. This is just going back through and checking it out. Dak says, I'm fine. I'll be ready when it counts. There's still a possibility that he plays next week against the Texans. Of course, the final preseason game, your veterans aren't playing. They're just not. They never do. That is the consolation bowl and last audition for guys to get on the team. So I wanted to play this clip here, which is actually Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott as well. So let's take a listen here.
I want to throw. Touchdown, Prescott. There's your razzle-dazzle.
You came out and played well early last season. You were putting up good numbers. Then October 11th, you get hurt.
And he's grabbing his right ankle.
My gosh.
What do you remember most vividly from that day?
Probably just the moment that I got on the cart. I think that's when all the emotions just started hitting me, that my season was done, and that just hurt. Just that drive off the field was something I'll never forget.
Tears in the eyes of Dak Prescott.
As a head coach, I've stood over some really nasty injuries, and that was definitely top of the list. But I mean, the response in the stadium, I've never seen anything like that, and I think that speaks volumes about how everybody feels about Dak Prescott.
You're very conscientious of mental health. You've spoken about that. There's a lot of athletes who they get hurt and they kind of go into a dark place. How much of you staying engaged was about making sure you maintain that positive mindset?
Yeah, I mean, maybe 90% or more. As I said, I think a lot of it was to help the teammates out, and that's all I know. But at the same time, I mean, I knew it was important for me to keep my mind rolling, stay engaged to the game, be there as much as I could, and I knew that would help me get through those challenging parts when I wasn't able to rehab and I was just sitting with my leg up.
Mike, you've always had close relationships with Aaron, Brett, all your quarterbacks. What makes this relationship unique?
He's the same man every day. You know, we had our first group dynamic, I think it was Jeopardy or Family Feud, but there's, pizza and candy and stuff all over. But when the event was over, Dak started picking up all the candy, all the garbage. And then Zeke was right there with him. And then next, 5 more guys start helping. Then there was 10, there was 15, and just little things like that. I just think it speaks to him as a person, and it also speaks to his teammates.
Franchise quarterback Dak Prescott just agreed to terms.
There's so many quarterbacks this offseason, between Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, all these guys who either wanted out or they wanted a fresh start, whatever it would be. You re-signed before free agency even began. Why did you stay all in?
Yeah, I mean, this organization, has done so much for me, and just the support, obviously, through that injury, and from the coaching staff, my teammates, and I grew up a Dallas Cowboy fan. I never in a million years thought that I'd be playing somewhere else.
Going through the contract situation, as a head coach, you have to learn that you have to separate the business from the football, and, for Dak being as young as he is, that was never an issue.
What's the hurdle if there's one left with the ankle?
None. I've done everything, I think, to this point to get myself ready to go. And when the team reps that I've had, I don't think about it. It's not like it's bothering me, it hurts me. So now it's just getting out there and bringing success to this team.
And in terms of the shoulder, what's the level of doubt, if any, that you're 100%, not just week 1, but through the whole season?
Yeah, there's no doubt. And that's the purpose of taking it slow and being cautious. That the moment I kick back and I get going again is that it's not going to be lingering. There's not going to be problems, and that's us playing safe and being cautious with it. Last year was a tough year, and I never want to miss that much football again.
How hard is it to hold this guy back?
Well, it is hard. I mean, I think the longer you do this job, the more you worry. And frankly, respectfully, we're protecting Dak from himself. We just don't want it to turn into a serious deal. And, we're close. We're getting there, and he's doing it the right way.
Heaves it deep down the left side for Gallup. He's got it.
So you look out here, you see all the weapons on this Cowboys team. How good can you guys be?
We can be great. We can be as good as we want to be. We're going to set our goals, and we're going to go out there and accomplish them. But as I said, we've got to hold each other accountable, teammates first, and then hold our coaches accountable, and I know they'll hold us accountable. And as I said, we can go accomplish exactly what we want to.
Yeah, amen on that. So Dak says don't worry about the ankle. He's done everything possible for it. Doesn't think about it when he's on there. We have the MRI on Saturday to just double check. He's been throwing those last 2 practices. And that's it. It's hard to believe that Oxnard is done already. It seems like it was just yesterday that training camp started. But here it is for the Cowboys. You got to think that the Cowboys and the Steelers have a little bit of an advantage starting out a week ahead of everybody else. They've kind of spread out. You still have the same amount of practices, but you actually are able to spread them out a little bit more, get more rest in between, and have more time to try and work on getting the plays together. In fact, I dare say that the Dallas Cowboys may be better suited because when a lot of the NFLPA was saying we don't want to have in-person OTAs and working out, the Cowboys were still there working out at the facilities. At the facilities together. They had the highest participation of any team out there. And I dare say, I've repeated myself, I know, a multitude of times, but the Cowboys, it seems like there's so many guys that are out to prove something, that are out on a mission. When you hear guys like Boss Man Fat say, I'm looking to be that starter. When you hear Micah Parsons in a preseason game, a little bit dejected because he couldn't go back out there. When you think about Tyron Smith, who says, I'm not done yet, I got 3 or 4 more years, or you see Dak Prescott just pissed off about practice. We talking about practice.
We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about
not a
practice.
Game now. We talking about practice. I sat out last year, and that's enough. That these guys, when they get on the field, it might be hell on earth. At least that's my hope. And as we sit here, 28 days, 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 10 seconds away, I can't wait. And I still have a whole lot of work to do to get ready for that first game. So we'll be watching. We'll have it here in a couple hours. We'll follow the Washington game. We can flip over to the NFL Game Pass as well, because Game Pass is actually providing live access to all the preseason games in the NFL. I signed up a couple of years ago. They already took my money. They already grabbed I forgot about it. And I see a debit, $99. Like, oh, NFL Game Pass. Yeah, that's it. So if you do have NFL Game Pass, you can see all the preseason games live, or you can go back and rewatch them later. So we'll be following all of that. And I will also be working on getting DirecTV. So week 1, we will cover all of the games in the NFC East. And with that being said, I need to finish getting this stuff together so that way we can rock and roll. And don't forget, tomorrow night we'll be covering, of course, our Dallas Cowboys. I will see you guys in a bit.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and all the thing else I got to